Riden, the host of Raising Rainbow, and this is episode number 1 of many episodes I hope to come. Raising Rainbow is about encouraging, enlightening, and empowering the LGBTQ plus community, its allies, friends, and family, and hopefully even raise the consciousness of its haters and distractors. You know, I was approached a few weeks ago by a wonderful, wonderful lady, Carrie Romano-Zoll, the founder of Corporate Hippie Connection. In fact, many of you are watching this video by the Corporate Hippie Connection online website, which if you've not been there, you should go because it has many great articles, different hosts, and different shows of lifting up your consciousness, raising your vibration, getting in an alignment, your highest alignment for your highest good. So when I was approached by Carrie a few weeks ago, might have been over a month ago, to create a show, create an opportunity, create a conversation for the LGBTQ plus community to be empowered, enlightened, and strengthened. And there's never been a more crucial time than right now than lifting up the spirits of people that belong to the Rainbow family. And why do I say that? Well, what convinced me to start this show, Raising Rainbow, lifting up the Rainbow family, was I had a conversation with a family member and they were saying, you know, gay rights, we don't have to worry about those anymore because gays can get married now and the younger people are cool with gay people, and so really it's a non-issue anymore. And that was said just prior to all of these legislations of hate coming out in America, where we had the Don't Say Gay bill that passed in Florida, where gay children cannot talk about their sexuality, or children cannot talk about their fathers or mothers or their different families, what they would consider 2 dads and 2 moms. We're not going to talk about it like it doesn't exist. And even at one time in that bill, they wanted teachers to expose the sexuality of their students to their parents, not knowing what kind of environment that child was going to be given to. No one should be pushed out at any age. Everyone has their own journey, except maybe if you're voting against my rights and you're being a hypocrite, like a lot of people in Congress, we may expose you just because you're in a seat of power of hurting. And we're here to help, though, at Raising Rainbow. And so not only did we have all this hate in Florida, then we had Texas coming out with the transgender, you know, stopping transgender kids from getting the help that they need, even trying to split up families of transgender children, saying that if the parents were helping the child in their transgender journey, that they could lose their parental rights. Folks, we've got to raise the rainbow back up. We've got to raise the power of saying we have a right to exist. We have a right to live with our head held high. And so, you know, we see all these legislation of hate. And it's not just in Florida. It's not just in Texas. We see in Ohio. In Ohio, they're trying to pass the bill where doctors can refuse to serve a patient if they are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, life-saving stuff, right? Now doctors can decide whether you live or die based on whether they agree about your orientation, your identity. 2022, folks, we're not talking about 1950. We're not talking about the 1900s. 2022, right here in the spring, you could die. Well, people are dying all the time because of lack of resources that they should be given just for being a human being. But you could die in Ohio, right? And so what happens is the distractors will say, oh, that's an extreme case. A doctor really wouldn't let you die. And, you know, that's an extreme case, you know, in Florida where you can't even talk about your parents. This is just for the teachers. No, they already had kids that were talking about their gay family. They got expelled. This stuff is happening, folks. For those that are mainline, that are middle, you know, I kind of see different things. The far right is far wrong for far too long. And they will, you think of the worst case scenario, it will happen eventually. That person dying because the doctor said, oh, wait a minute, I found out they're gay, I'm not going to operate. It will happen eventually. Or people getting detention, right? Because they're showing a picture of their 2 dads at a family gathering. It will happen. Why? Because it's far, and you say, oh, that's crazy. No, it's not, my friend. It's a slippery slope, a dangerous slope, when we begin to take the rights of people away. Now, This is nothing new because, people thought that racism was over with the election of President Obama a few years ago. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. What we did see, and whether you like Obama or not, what we did see is that many of us living at that time thought we as a nation had risen above a lot of this racist hatred. And we thought, we have raised our consciousnesses, realized that we're one people, one blood, one family. But unfortunately, if you've been alive since Obama, racism has never been more exposed, said. Yes, thank God they're not tying people up literally with the hoods on right now. But boy, what people are saying and doing, and there are many blacks that are being killed unnecessarily, murdered, and people thinking it's all right. Even leaders in high places trying to justify the hatred. Really, it's fear. It's fear. Fear that, people that attack you, people that come against you, it makes them feel powerful. Like, I'm right. If I'm right, then I'm better, and I'm going to heaven, and I'm saved, and I'm okay. Really, when people are throwing all that hate out, it's because they're not doing nothing with their own life. They have no vision, no dreams, no goals. They're set in this conditioning that have been passed on to them. The hate, the lack of knowledge, the lack of consciousness that has not been passed on to them rightly. They've been taking all that ancestry ignorance, and they made it their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner. And unfortunately, in America now, we made it quite acceptable that you can say anything and it not be true, but it doesn't matter. If you say it long enough, then it's true. No, friends, facts are facts. No matter how much you want to spew your lies, it doesn't change the reality of things. Now, what can change your reality is lifting your higher mind, lifting your spirits, lifting it up. This is not going to always be a political show, as far as always talking about politics, but you're saying, what got Jeremy here? What put me in this seat behind the flag, representing so many wonderful types of people and families and communities? Why now? Why today? Simply because some allies of the gay community, bisexual, LGBTQ+, all the different rainbow mafia alphabet, they begin to thought that, hey, our fight is over, or our issue is won. It's not won. We have seen that they can take away your rights if you let them. You can't let them take away your rights. You can't let them slide. And even more so, standing up and saying, hey, listen, what's going on? I want this channel to be a beacon for all the young people out there that are afraid that they are different than their brothers or sisters, or they know that they're, transgender or bisexual, and they know, and maybe they're not living in a progressive, intelligent home or an intelligent school system. Maybe they're in a very conservative, limited, narrow thinking environment, and they cannot feel free to be themselves. I want to let you know that you have allies, you have friends. My name is Jeremy. I'm here for you. Carrie from Hippie Corporate Connection is here for you. And many, many other people are here to tell you, like they had that campaign years ago to encourage kids that says it does get better. Where different older LGBT folks were saying it does get better. I still want to spread that message that it does get better. But why? Why all the hatred now? Why all the anger now? Why all this stuff rising up? Well, if you want to know the truth, when we're talking about consciousness, raising our consciousness, raising our vibe, raising the way we're living in a spiritual human body, but a spiritual experience, we are in a world of duality. There is light and there is darkness. And there's sunshine and rain. And what happens is anytime we make a leap into evolution, whether it be a mental leap, a heart leap, a physical leap, anytime we're growing, evolving, expanding, the energies of the past do not want that to happen. The darkness does not want that to happen. Notice this, anytime you start making a change, all of a sudden there's resistance. Maybe you're gung-ho, but then there's resistance or there's a setback. You cannot get discouraged, Rainbow community, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your weight loss, whether it's in your relationships, when you have a setback, especially when you're trying to better yourself, especially when you start making those first steps, maybe those first few months of changing some habits. The dark clouds, the contrast, the difference, the different vibration, the lower vibration, it wants you to stay where you're at, stuck, stagnant, rut, status quo. And what I'm telling you, and if you're going to raise your rainbow, lift your energy, lift your perspective, continue upon making the changes you need until it becomes a transformation. You cannot allow yourself to get discouraged too much by the negativity that is stirred up by your positivity. If you are positive, it will stir up negativity. But it's like anything else, the dust will settle. Like they used to say, the cream rises to the top. You know, the rise, we're talking about rising the rainbow, lifting people up in this world, in this 21st century, lifting them up to be their authentic self, lifting them up to love who they want to love, lifting them up to love themselves, to speak their truth, to live without fear. That is what we're talking about, for you to reach your highest potential. So I want to tell you, if you are being authentic, some negativity will come your way. If you're really loving, there's always going to be people that are not in love. They're in a hateful energy. They're in a negative energy. They're in a discouraging energy. And they're going to project that onto you. But the last thing you need to do is to sit down and stop sharing your truth. Sit down and stop, doing those things that are helping you to rise up. So if you're trying to lose weight and all of a sudden you have a bad weekend and you binge, it doesn't mean that you just say, oh, forget it, I'm going to take a week off. No, the best thing you can do is when you've been discouraged and you've been beaten down or you made a mistake is to redirect that energy to a higher focus as soon as possible. Don't give you that. Don't wait months. Don't wait years. Don't wait years to start living your highest authentic expression. So maybe you won't be able to share that right now because your environment is not a place where rainbows can shine. Find someone online that you can trust, a teacher, a friend, a mentor, whether you're 50 or 60 years old. Find someone that you can say, hey, I want to share a secret, but not really a secret. I want to share who I am, which shouldn't be a secret, which should never be in shame. See, that's the situation with what's going on in Florida when they say, don't say gay. What they're doing is they're trying to raise kids in shame. Now they're saying, oh, we don't want to confuse the gender of children. Children aren't confused with their gender. It's parents that are sexualizing their children. You can say, oh, what do you mean? You'll tell a 5-year-old girl all the time, oh, you're going to get all the boys. Where's your boyfriend? But what if that 7-year-old boy already knows he likes boys and says, I think he's cute? See, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the world today. And Raising Rainbow is telling everyone, children, teenagers, adults, let's stop all of this distracting, this posing, this fake news. Everyone's talking about fake news. I'm talking about fake news and fake truth because it's not true. Your perception isn't always the reality. And we want a higher reality, so we have to change people's perceptions. And the perception is we have nothing to be ashamed of. Anything that you say, hush, let's not talk about, let's hide it, applies shame. It implies that there's something wrong. When you say, hey, let's not let kids talk about their sexuality until they're out of high school, A, is unrealistic. B, it means that there's something wrong with sexuality. There's nothing wrong with your sexuality. There's nothing wrong with who you are. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you will see predominantly Republicans on the far right, why they would be taking all this hate in the name of the family. One, it gets them elected. Why does it get them elected? Because the church, the conservative church, has an agenda. Just as they say there's an LGBTQ agenda, there's an agenda in the far right church. Sure there is, an agenda of keeping power, keeping control, keeping everything lined up, right? Sure it is. Sure it is. You live this way. You pay your money to the church, your tithes. I know I'm going on a ramble here, but the thing is, I want you to know at Raising Rainbow, we do have an LGBTQ plus agenda. And our agenda is for you to live your life, to love your life, to enjoy your life, to pursue your passions, to pursue your interests and your creativity. You're not just your sexuality. That's what so many people don't get. It's not when they say love wins, it really is about love. It's not about sexuality. People are always trying to talk about their genitals. I wonder if they've ever been in love. I wonder, because if you ever really been in love, you will withhold that from nothing. No one, nothing, nobody. Love is the highest energy. And love is worth fighting for. Even if we got to protest, and even if I'm protesting, I don't want to get into that energy of hating my haters. I don't want to hate my haters. I would like to educate them. I would like to encourage them to open their mind. But even that, this channel isn't always dedicated to the haters. This channel is dedicated to you. I just wanted to tell you what got me into starting Raising Rainbow. And this channel, we're going to have different people be interviewed. We want to highlight, LGBT plus businesses, people that are in the community. They're doing great works for humanity, people that are being highlighted. Down the road, we'll have an email where you can send your questions. You can send your comments. You can send your articles. We like to give information out there. There's a lot of people, and I'll talk about later, if you're a young gay man, you should get on PrEP. Or you're an old gay man, you should get on PrEP. A lot of people don't know that there's a medicine you can take that can almost eliminate any chance of you catching AIDS. Now, I can't say 100% because there's always chances. But there's a lot of older people that are coming out of the closet that don't know that there's a medicine that they can take that can protect them. This channel wants to expose you to information, but it wants to celebrate too. We want to celebrate your wins. We want to celebrate your accomplishments. We also want to lift your spirit and your consciousness. We do believe in spirituality and Raising Rainbow. We do believe that the rainbow is meant to be seen. It's meant to shine. Everyone looks at the rainbow. Why? Because rainbows know how to get through the storm. And if you're an LGBTQ plus friend, ally in the community, no matter what storm you're going through, if you continue to go forward, that sun's going to shine on you, and all your setbacks and all your struggles and everything you've gone through is only going to make your personal rainbow shine much deeper, much bolder, much brighter, much beautiful, where everyone look up and say, wow, look at that rainbow. Look at you. So don't be afraid to shine and don't be afraid to rise. In fact, one of my signing off will be, don't forget to raise the rainbow. Raise the rainbow, folks. Come on to episode number 2, and let's just get out there and lift one another up.